The air inside the ruined outpost was cold and still. Smoke from the earlier battle clung to the broken metal walls like a memory that refused to fade. The fight had ended hours ago, but the silence felt heavier than the gunfire ever had. Aaron Hale moved carefully through the corridor, his boots crunching over shattered glass and scorched plating. He was a human soldier, part of a joint peacekeeping force sent to secure the border between human space and the Kari Dominion. The mission was simple now. Clear the area, confirm no survivors, recover technology if possible. Still, Aaron kept his rifle ready. The Kari were known across the sector as one of the most dangerous warrior species, tall, blade-focused, and deeply bound to honor. This outpost had belonged to one of their elite units. That alone made Aaron uneasy. He passed bodies, Kari warriors in broken armor, their blue-black blood dried against the floor. They had fought hard, too hard. Whatever attacked this place had not been human. Aaron slowed when he reached the central chamber. Something felt different here. The room was wide and circular, its ceiling cracked open to space, now sealed by emergency shields. In the center stood a stone-like pedestal, untouched by fire or explosion. Resting on it was a blade. Aaron stopped breathing for a moment. The weapon was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Nearly as tall as he was, the blade was forged from dark metal that seemed to drink in the light. Alien symbols ran along its length, glowing faintly even now. The handle was wrapped in a material that looked almost alive, like hardened muscle or scaled leather. Aaron knew what it was. Everyone did. The Kari warrior blade. Each elite Kari champion was bonded to one such blade for life. Legend said the weapon would kill anyone unworthy who tried to lift it. Bones crushed, minds burned. Some stories claimed the blade itself chose when to awaken. And yet, here it was, waiting. Aaron glanced around the room. No cameras active, no movement on his scanner. He swallowed. I shouldn't, he muttered to himself. He had no intention of stealing it. He just wanted to understand, to see if the stories were true. Slowly, respectfully, Aaron reached out. The moment his fingers touched the handle, warmth spread through his palm. Not heat, comfort, like a steady heartbeat. The symbols along the blade brightened, casting soft light across the chamber. Aaron froze. Nothing crushed him. Nothing burned. Heart pounding, he tightened his grip and lifted. The blade rose smoothly from the pedestal, light as if it weighed nothing at all. Aaron stared at it in disbelief. I lifted it, he whispered. The weapon hummed softly, almost like approval. A chill ran down his spine. Then a voice spoke behind him. Put it down, human. Aaron's blood turned to ice. He did not turn immediately. His grip tightened on the blade as training kicked in. His mind raced. The scanner had shown no life signs. He was alone. He had been sure of it. Slowly, carefully, Aaron turned his head. She stood a few steps behind him. The Kari warrior was tall, even for her species. Her armor was cracked and scorched, one arm hanging stiffly at her side, but she stood straight. Her skin was deep violet, marked with silver scars that told stories of countless battles. Her eyes burned gold, sharp and alert, alive, very much alive. Her gaze was locked on the blade in Aaron's hands. That weapon, she said evenly, is bound to me. Aaron lowered the blade slightly, careful not to make any sudden move. I didn't know anyone survived, he said. I'm not here to steal. Her eyes narrowed. And yet you hold it. I was going to put it back, Aaron replied honestly. I just touched it. It didn't react the way I expected. Her jaw tightened. It should have killed you. The silence between them stretched. The warrior took a step forward, her injured leg slowing her slightly. Even wounded, she radiated danger. My name is Kalira, she said. Champion of the Third Fang. That blade has never accepted another hand. Aaron met her gaze. He did not look away. I'm Aaron Hale, he said. Human infantry. Kalira studied him closely now, not just the blade. His armor was scratched and worn, patched in places. His face showed exhaustion but also calm focus. No triumph, no fear-driven arrogance. "You feel no pain?" she asked. Aaron shook his head. "No, it feels steady." That made her expression shift, not anger, confusion. Before she could speak again, a sharp tone echoed in Aaron's helmet. Warning signal. Multiple contacts, fast, closing in. Kalira heard it too. Her posture changed instantly, warrior instinct overriding injury. "They are not mine," she said. "Another clan scavenging the dead." "How many?" Aaron asked. "Too many," Kalira replied. The distant sound of movement echoed through the corridors. Heavy footsteps, clicking armor, low growls. Aaron looked at Kalira's injured arm, then back at the blade. "I'll give it back," he said quickly. "Right now." Kalira hesitated. The truth was clear to both of them. She was injured, exhausted, alone. She reached for the blade. The moment her fingers touched it, the glow dimmed. Kalira stiffened. She tried again. The blade did not respond. Her eyes widened slightly. "It does not answer," she said quietly. Aaron felt a strange pull, like the weapon was asking him not to let go. Footsteps grew louder. Kalira looked at Aaron, her pride battling survival. "Can you fight?" she asked. "Yes," Aaron said without hesitation. "Then do not drop it," she said. "If it has chosen you, we will not waste that chance." The first enemy appeared in the doorway, another Karai, larger, with spiked armor marked in red. His eyes went wide at the sight of the blade. "A human," he snarled. Holding a champion's weapon, Aaron did not wait. He moved. The blade flowed in his hands, not heavy, not awkward. It moved like it knew where to go. Aaron blocked the first strike, sparks flying, then struck back. The enemy staggered, shocked by the strength behind the blow. Kalira joined the fight, using her remaining strength with precision and speed. Together, they moved as one, human and alien, blade and rifle, covering each other without words. More enemies poured in. Aaron's arms burned, but the blade did not slow him. Each strike felt guided, purposeful. He fought not with rage, but with focus, protecting Kalira when she faltered, stepping into danger without thinking twice. The attackers hesitated. A human should not fight like this. When the last enemy fell, the chamber fell silent again, broken only by heavy breathing. Aaron lowered the blade slowly. Kalira leaned against the wall, watching him with something new in her eyes. Not anger, not disbelief. Respect. "You fought as if the blade was always yours," she said. Aaron shook his head. "It's not mine, I just didn't want you to die." The blade's glow softened. Kalira looked at it, then at him. "This changes things," she said quietly, "for both of us." Far above the ruined outpost, stars burned cold and distant, unaware that a legend had just taken its first breath, not stolen, not claimed by blood, but awakened by choice. The outpost did not stay silent for long. Kalira straightened slowly, her back pressing against the cold metal wall as she listened. The echoes of the fight still rang in her ears, but beyond that she could hear distant movement. Not close yet, but coming. Aaron wiped sweat from his brow and glanced at his scanner again. The red marks were gone for now, but that meant little. In places like this, danger never announced itself, only once. "We can't stay," he said. Kalira nodded. "Agreed. This outpost is no longer hidden." She pushed herself away from the wall, her injured arm held tight against her side. Pain flashed across her face, but she did not make a sound. Aaron noticed anyway. "You're hurt badly," he said. "We should treat that." Kalira looked at him sharply. "Later." Survival comes first. She took 2 steps, then slowed. Her breathing was controlled but uneven. Aaron moved beside her without asking and supported her weight. For a moment she stiffened, pride flaring, but then she allowed it. The blade remained in Aaron's hand. Neither of them spoke about it. They moved through the broken corridors, stepping over fallen armor and scorched walls. Emergency lights flickered weakly, casting long shadows. Every sound made Aaron tense, but Kalira guided him with quiet hand signals, showing paths that avoided open areas. "You know this place well," Aaron said softly. "It was my command," Kalira replied. "Every stone remembers us." That sentence carried weight. Aaron said nothing more. They reached a service tunnel near the outer hull. Kalira stopped and pressed her hand against a hidden panel. The wall shifted open, revealing a narrow passage. "A supply exit," she said. "Few know of it." They entered, and the door sealed behind them. The tunnel was dark and cramped. Aaron activated a low-light setting on his helmet, careful not to blind her. As they walked, he could feel the blade reacting again, soft pulses like a quiet signal. Kalira felt it too. "You are still holding it," she said. "Yes." "Does it speak to you?" she asked. Aaron hesitated. "Not in words, just feeling like it wants me to keep moving." Kalira was silent for a long moment. "Our blades are alive," she said at last. "Not in the way humans understand life, but they are aware. They bond once, always." "And now?" Aaron asked. "And now," Kalira said quietly, "mine does not recognize me." The words hurt her more than her wounds. The tunnel opened into a small hangar bay half destroyed. One ship remained, a narrow scout craft, its hull scorched but intact. Kalira's eyes lit with relief. "It still stands." Aaron helped her toward it. As they approached, the ship's systems flickered on, recognizing her presence. The ramp lowered slowly. Inside, the ship was cramped but functional. Kalira collapsed into the pilot's seat, finally allowing herself to rest. Aaron sealed the ramp and set the blade carefully against the wall, keeping it within reach. He turned back to her. "Sit still." Before she could argue, he pulled a medkit from his pack. Human standard but adaptable. He knelt beside her and began working on her injured arm, cutting away damaged armor. Kalira watched him closely. "You show no fear," she said. "I'm scared," Aaron replied honestly. "I just don't let it decide my actions." That answer seemed to surprise her. As he worked, she studied his hands, steady, careful, respectful. He did not rush. He did not hesitate. "Among my people," Kalira said, "fear is seen as weakness." Aaron smiled faintly. "Among mine, pretending you don't feel it usually gets you killed." She considered that. When he finished stabilizing her arm, Kalira tested it gently. The pain was still there, but manageable. "You saved me twice," she said. "Once with the blade, once without it." Aaron shrugged. "Team effort." Kalira looked away, thoughtful. The ship lifted off quietly, slipping away from the ruined outpost just as new enemy ships appeared in the distance. Kalira guided them through debris and into open space, then jumped to a short-range drift point. Only then did she allow herself to breathe fully. The stars stretched and settled. They were safe for now. In the silence of space, Kalira turned to Aaron. "You should be dead," she said bluntly. "By our laws, by our weapons, by our belief." "And yet I'm not," Aaron said. "No," she agreed, "and that troubles me." She stood slowly and approached the blade. She did not touch it this time. She bowed her head slightly. "You protected life," she said, "even mine when you owed me nothing." Aaron frowned. "I owed you everything." "You trusted me when you didn't have to." Kalira met his eyes. "Trust is not given lightly among my kind." "Same for humans," Aaron said. "We just show it differently." The blade pulsed softly, its light reflecting between them. Kalira straightened. "My people will hunt you." Aaron nodded. "Figures. They will say you stole a sacred weapon," she continued. "They will call you thief, blasphemer." "I didn't steal it," Aaron said firmly, "but I won't drop it if it means people die." That answer made her pause. "Then you understand the blade better than many of my kind," she said. She moved back to the pilot's seat and entered coordinates. "Where are we going?" Aaron asked. "To a place where my people do not rule," Kalira said, "and where answers may exist." The ship leapt forward again. Far behind them, alarms echoed across Karai space. Reports spread fast. A human had lifted a champion's blade, fought with it, survived. Some called it impossible, others called it heresy. But the oldest warriors felt something else: fear. Because if a human could be chosen by a warrior blade, then the universe was changing. And change was the one thing the Karai feared most. The ship traveled in silence for a long time. Stars drifted past the viewport like cold sparks in a dark ocean. Aaron sat strapped into a secondary seat, cleaning his rifle by habit. The warrior blade rested nearby, secured but never truly still. Every so often it gave off a faint pulse, like a quiet reminder that it was awake. Kalira focused on flying. Her posture was steady, but inside her mind was chaos. Everything she had believed since childhood was cracking. After hours of travel, the ship slowed and dropped out of drift near a remote system. A small, broken moon circled a dead world below. Scans showed no cities, no patrols, no active defense grids. This place was abandoned long ago, Kalira said. Once a testing ground, now forgotten. Sounds safe enough, Aaron replied. Safe is never certain, she said, but here we can breathe. The ship landed in a shallow canyon carved into the moon's surface. Rock walls rose around them, blocking most long-range scans. Kalira powered down the engines and finally relaxed her shoulders. She stood slowly and turned to Aaron. "You should know the truth," she said. "About the blade," Aaron nodded. "I figured it was more than just a weapon." Kalira walked to a storage compartment and removed a small metal object, an old data core, worn and scratched. "Our history," she said, "is controlled by our warrior caste. They teach us that strength is born only from our blood, that outsiders are weak by nature." She activated the core. A dim projection filled the air, showing ancient Kari figures, smaller, less armored, standing beside other species. "This," Kalira said quietly, "is what they erased." Aaron leaned forward, surprised. "You weren't always alone." "No," she replied. "Long ago our blades were created to protect life, not dominate it. They bonded with those who showed resolve, not heritage." She deactivated the projection. "Over time," she continued, "power corrupted meaning. The blades became symbols of control. Only warriors of certain bloodlines were allowed near them." Aaron looked at the blade beside him. "So it didn't choose me because I'm human." "No," Kalira said. "It chose you because you acted as the blade was meant to be used." Before Aaron could respond, the ship's warning system flared. "Incoming signal." Kalira's expression hardened. "They found us." Multiple ships dropped into orbit above the moon. Kari signatures, military grade. Aaron stood. "How much time?" "Minutes," Kalira said. "Perhaps less." The ship shook as the first energy blast struck the canyon wall nearby. Rock and dust rained down. Kalira grabbed her side, pain flashing again. "You can't fight them all," Aaron said. "No," she agreed. "But we can make them listen." She turned to him. "Will you stand with me?" Aaron did not hesitate. He picked up the blade. "I already am." They exited the ship together. The canyon opened above them, and armored figures descended on grav lifts, surrounding the landing zone. At their center stood a towering Kari male in ceremonial armor marked with gold. High Commander Vorthak. His eyes locked onto the blade in Aaron's hands. "So," Vorthak said, his voice echoing, "the heretic lives, and she brings a human thief." Kalira stepped forward despite her injury. "This blade was never meant to serve pride." Vorthak laughed, spoken like a weakling who lost her bond. Aaron moved slightly ahead of her. "I didn't steal anything," he said. "The blade answered when I lifted it." Murmurs spread through the warriors. Vorthak snarled. "Lies, a tool responds only to its master." "Then test it," Aaron said calmly. Vorthak gestured sharply. "Kill the human." The warriors charged. Aaron felt the blade surge in his hands. He did not think, he moved. Each step was precise. Each strike clean. He did not aim to kill when he could disable. He blocked blows meant for Kalira, took hits that would have shattered armor, and kept moving forward. The Kari warriors faltered. This was wrong. A human should not fight like this. Kalira watched, torn between fear and awe. The blade glowed brighter with every act of protection, every choice Aaron made to shield rather than dominate. Vorthak roared and stepped forward himself, swinging his massive weapon. Aaron met the strike head-on. The impact sent a shockwave through the canyon. Aaron's arm screamed in pain, but he held his ground. The blade did not break. It sang. You feel it, don't you? Aaron said through clenched teeth. It doesn't want conquest, it wants purpose. Vorthak hesitated. In that moment of doubt, Kalira raised her voice. Look at him, she shouted. He does not seek your throne, he does not claim your people. He protects even those who despise him. Some warriors lowered their weapons. Vorthak saw control slipping. Enough, he bellowed. This ends now. He activated a hidden device. Energy surged through the ground, aimed directly at Aaron. Kalira screamed his name. Aaron braced, but the blade reacted faster. A barrier flared to life, absorbing the attack. The energy dispersed harmlessly into the air. Silence fell. The blade's glow reached its peak, symbols blazing with ancient light. Vorthak staggered back, fear finally visible in his eyes. It chose, Kalira said softly, not by blood, by action. Aaron lowered the blade slowly. I don't want your empire, he said, but I won't let you erase truth to keep it. One by one, the warriors stepped back. Vorthak retreated, fury burning behind his fear. This is not over, the ships withdrew. When they were gone, Aaron finally exhaled. His legs shook. The blade dimmed, satisfied. Kalira approached him, eyes shining. You changed them, she said. No, Aaron replied. I just showed them what they forgot. Above them, the stars watched in silence. And across the Karai dominion, the idea began to spread, slow, unstoppable. That strength was not owned, and humanity had just proven it. The moon did not feel quiet anymore. After the Karai ships withdrew, dust still floated in the air, slowly settling over broken stone. Aaron stood where the battle had ended, his breathing heavy, his arms sore. The warrior blade rested in his hands, its glow faded but its presence still strong. Kalira approached him carefully. You are injured, she said. So are you, Aaron replied. She almost smiled. They returned to the ship in silence. Once inside, Kalira sealed the ramp and leaned against the wall, finally allowing her strength to fade. Aaron helped her to a seat and checked her wounds again. They were not life-threatening, but they would take time to heal. Time they might not have. Kalira broke the silence. Vorthak will not stop, he cannot. Because of pride, Aaron asked. Because of fear, she answered. If what you represent spreads, the warrior caste loses control. Aaron nodded slowly. Then they'll come harder next time. Yes, Kalira said, and they will not come alone. She activated a long-range scanner. New signals were already appearing, fleet movement, coded transmissions. The Karai Dominion was mobilizing. Aaron leaned back in his chair. So what's the plan? Kalira looked at him. There is one place they cannot ignore, the trial world. Aaron raised an eyebrow. Sounds friendly. It is not, Kalira said. It is sacred, where blades were first forged, where champions were once judged. And now it is forbidden, she said, because the truth is buried there. The ship lifted off again, slipping quietly into space. As they traveled, Aaron noticed something strange. The blade no longer pulsed only when danger was near. It reacted when he made decisions, small ones. When he chose patience instead of anger. When he checked Kalira's injuries again, even though she insisted she was fine. It's watching me, he said finally. Kalira glanced at the blade. It always was, you are simply aware now. What happens if I fail? Aaron asked. If I mess up, then it will leave you, she said honestly, as it left me. Aaron absorbed that without complaint. They arrived at the trial world days later. It was a massive planet, covered in stone structures older than any living Karai. Broken towers rose from deserts of black sand. The air was heavy, almost electric. Kalira stepped onto the surface and froze. Memories hit her all at once. Training, blood, pride, loss. This place judged me once, she said quietly, and found me worthy. Aaron looked around. And now, she said, it will judge us both. They did not have long. Karai ships appeared in orbit almost immediately. Not scouts this time, war vessels. Among them flew banners of the High Council. Vorthak was coming. Kalira turned to Aaron. If they capture you, they will break you. If they kill you, they will turn you into a warning. Aaron tightened his grip on the blade. Then we don't let them. They walked into the central arena together, an enormous open space carved into the planet itself. Ancient symbols covered the ground, glowing faintly as Aaron stepped forward. The blade reacted. A deep sound echoed across the arena like a distant drum. Every Kari ship in orbit detected it. The trial had begun. Vorthak descended in full armor, flanked by council warriors. He stopped at the edge of the arena, eyes burning with rage and disbelief. "You dare awaken this place," he said. "It was never meant to sleep," Kalira replied. Vorthak laughed coldly. "You stand beside an outsider who defiles our legacy." Aaron stepped forward alone. "I stand here because your legacy forgot its purpose," he said. "Strength without protection is just cruelty." The arena reacted to his words. Symbols flared brighter, murmurs spread among the watching warriors. Vorthak raised his weapon. "Enough words, the trial decides by combat." Kalira moved to Aaron's side. "This trial was never meant for execution," she said. "It was meant for judgment. And judgment will fall," Vorthak replied. "On you both." The ground shifted. Stone platforms rose, forming a battlefield shaped by ancient design. The trial world itself responded, choosing conditions no one controlled. Aaron felt the blade grow heavier, not in weight but in meaning. This was no longer about survival. This was about proof. The first wave came fast. Elite warriors trained since birth. Aaron fought carefully, not rushing, not seeking glory. He blocked, redirected, disarmed. Every time he chose restraint over dominance, the blade guided him. Kalira fought beside him, injured but focused. She covered his blind spots, warned him when attacks came from behind. They moved like partners, not master and weapon. Vorthak watched, furious. "Cowards," he roared. "You fight without honor." Aaron deflected a strike and answered calmly, "Honor that requires suffering is already broken." That sentence spread faster than any blade strike. Some warriors hesitated. Others lowered their weapons completely. The trial world reacted again. A beam of light rose from the arena floor surrounding Aaron and Kalira. Ancient symbols shifted, rearranging into patterns unseen for centuries. Vorthak's confidence faltered. "This is impossible," he whispered. Kalira understood. "The trial is not choosing a champion," she said. "It is choosing a path." The light expanded, projecting images into the sky above the planet. Ancient history, Kari standing beside other species. Blades passed willingly, not owned. Protectors, not rulers. The truth exposed. Vorthak screamed and charged. Aaron met him. The clash was brutal. Vorthak was stronger, heavier, fueled by rage. Aaron was pushed back step by step. His arms shook. Blood ran from his brow. Kalira shouted his name. Aaron planted his feet. He did not attack. He lowered the blade. The arena went silent. "I won't kill you," Aaron said, "because this isn't about winning." The blade flared brighter than ever. Vorthak struck anyway. The blade moved on its own, stopping the blow inches from Aaron's chest. Energy rippled outward, throwing Vorthak back across the arena. He lay still, alive but defeated. The trial ended. Silence stretched across the battlefield. Then one by one Kari warriors knelt, not to Aaron, to the idea he represented. Kalira looked at him, tears burning her eyes. "You did it," she whispered. Aaron shook his head slowly. "We did." Above them the trial world dimmed, its purpose fulfilled once more. But far away in the depths of space, other powers were watching. And they had learned something dangerous. Humanity was no longer just a species. It was a catalyst. The trial world was quiet now. The arena had returned to still stone, the ancient symbols dim, their light spent after judging both Kari and human alike. Aaron stood at the center, the warrior blade glowing softly in his hands. Kalira rested beside him, her injuries mostly treated, though the scars would remain as reminders of what they had endured. Across the vast expanse of the trial world, the remaining Kari warriors and council members looked on, their expressions unreadable at first. Slowly, realization spread. The battle had ended, but more importantly, a truth they had never admitted was now undeniable. A human had wielded a warrior blade and survived. Not only survived, he had mastered it, not through blood or heritage, but through courage, empathy, and determination. Aaron lowered the blade carefully, letting its glow fade without losing its presence. He looked at Kalira. "It's over," he said softly. Kalira shook her head. "Not yet," Aaron frowned. "What do you mean?" "Your victory today changes everything," she said. "But the Dominion will not accept it immediately. They will resist. Some will try to undo what we have proven." Aaron understood. He had faced overwhelming odds before, but this, changing the beliefs of an entire warrior society, was a challenge unlike any other. Still, he felt no fear, only resolve. "The blade chose the right path," he said. "We just have to show them it is the right one to follow." Kalira studied him, a mixture of admiration and relief in her eyes. "Humans, sometimes you surprise even me." Aaron smirked faintly. "Not always in the way you think." Above them, the sky of the trial world shimmered with residual energy from the ancient arena. Cymbals pulsed softly, and Aaron noticed that the blade in his hand seemed almost in tune with them. It was as if the planet itself recognized the bond he had formed with Kalira and the weapon. "Look," Kalira said, pointing toward the horizon. "They are beginning to come forward." The Kari warriors, still armed and armored, began to step closer. It was not a surrender, not yet, but it was attention. Eyes wide, scanning, measuring, waiting to see what would happen next. Aaron straightened. "Then let's give them something to understand." He lifted the blade slightly, showing it to the onlookers. The weapon's glow deepened, pulsing like a heartbeat. The symbols etched into its metal shimmered, revealing designs none of the Kari had seen before. Ancient carvings of unity, protection, and the defense of life, not domination. Kalira stepped beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Explain," she said. "Tell them what you've learned." Aaron took a deep breath. "This blade does not answer to birthright or bloodline," he said, his voice carrying across the arena. "It answers to courage, to protection, to those willing to fight for others, even if they are not of your people. Strength is not the right to dominate, it is the responsibility to defend." There was silence. The wind carried his words, and the remaining Kari warriors shifted uncomfortably. Some looked away, unable to confront the truth. Others studied him with fascination and disbelief. Vorthak, the High Commander, rose slowly from where he had collapsed earlier. He looked at Aaron with a mixture of anger and grudging respect. "You are not my enemy," Vorthak said finally, "but you are something the Dominion cannot define." Aaron nodded. "I am simply human." "But humans are capable of more than you think. We adapt, we endure, and sometimes we can teach old systems new ways." The council members whispered among themselves. Some called for Aaron's punishment, some for Kalira's loyalty, but the energy of the trial world seemed to enforce stillness. The arena's symbols pulsed gently, almost as if confirming Aaron's words. Kalira looked at Aaron, pride and relief shining in her eyes. "You have done what I never could," she said softly. "You have made them see beyond tradition." Aaron shook his head. "We did it together." Suddenly, a low hum echoed across the arena. Aaron's grip tightened on the blade. The planet beneath them began to shift slightly, subtle movements that carried power beyond understanding. Dust lifted, ancient stones vibrating in recognition. The trial world itself seemed alive, acknowledging what had just occurred. From the edges of the arena, warriors began to kneel, not in submission but in understanding. One by one, they lowered their weapons, the gesture symbolic. They were not surrendering to Aaron, they were surrendering to the truth he had revealed. That strength was not ownership but protection. Kalira exhaled, a weight lifting from her shoulders. "It is done," she said. Aaron looked at the blade. Not just done, changed. For all of them. The remaining council members approached slowly. Vorthak led them. His eyes met Aaron's. You fought not for glory, he said quietly, not for power, only for what is right. Aaron nodded. Exactly. Vorthak's shoulders slumped slightly. Then perhaps the Dominion needs to learn more from humans than I realized. For the first time, Aaron saw a hint of humility in the Karai leader's eyes, acknowledgement that change was possible, even in a society that clung to ancient, rigid codes. Kalira stepped forward. Let this be the beginning, she said. We have survived together. Let humans and Karai find a path that does not require endless bloodshed. Some warriors murmured agreement, others still unsure, but the energy in the arena felt lighter. A new era was beginning. One where old rules could be challenged, where courage and heart mattered as much as strength. Aaron lowered the blade completely, resting it on the ground. Its glow softened to a gentle pulse. He looked at Kalira. It's yours, he said. Or mine, or both, it doesn't matter. The point is, it is no longer a tool of oppression. Kalira's hand brushed against his. You've done more than anyone could have imagined. You've proven what humans are capable of. Aaron smiled faintly. And you've shown me what it means to fight for something bigger than myself. The sky above shimmered, not with fire or energy, but with a calm, peaceful glow. The trial world had acknowledged them, and perhaps more importantly, so had the people who lived within the Dominion. Vorthak stepped forward once more. I will not forget today, he said, nor will my people. What you have done cannot be undone. Aaron nodded. It doesn't need to be. It's not about revenge or rules. It's about proving that even the smallest choice, acting with courage, protecting others, can change everything. Kalira placed her hand over Aaron's. Then let us go home, she said. He nodded, and together they returned to the ship. The warrior blade remained by Aaron's side, glowing faintly, a reminder of what had been accomplished. As the ship lifted off from the moon, Aaron looked down at the arena one last time. He could see the kneeling warriors, the softened expressions, the beginning of change spreading across the stone floors. The galaxy was watching, and the Karai Dominion was learning that strength was not inherited, it was earned, and sometimes it was shown by those who were once considered outsiders. Kalira watched him silently. I never imagined this, she said. That a human could change everything in one battle. Aaron shrugged lightly. We just had to make the right choices. The ship jumped into drift, leaving the trial world behind. Beyond the stars, the future stretched wide, full of possibilities. The Karai would remember. The Dominion would change. And humans had just proven something simple but powerful. Courage, compassion, and the willingness to protect others could create legends. The warrior blade pulsed one last time, quietly acknowledging Aaron. Not as master or weapon, but as an equal partner. And for Aaron, that was enough. Kalira reached over and placed a hand on his shoulder. The galaxy may never be the same again, she said. Aaron smiled faintly, feeling the weight of what had been accomplished and the hope of what could come next. Then let's make sure it's better. The stars stretched endlessly around them. The human soldier and the Karai warrior, side by side, had changed a world, and perhaps the entire galaxy. And in that quiet moment they understood something neither had expected. Legends were not inherited, they were made. The ship drifted through the void, carrying the human, the warrior, and a blade that had finally found its true purpose. The universe waited, and now it had a reason to believe. Peace would not come instantly. The Dominion still had tradition, pride, and doubt to overcome. But for the first time in centuries, they had seen a human, not just survive, but lead, inspire, and protect. And that was the beginning of a story that would spread farther than any weapon, farther than any war, and farther than the stars themselves. Humans had arrived, and the galaxy would never forget.